There's only one college football program right now producing more NFL talent than the Georgia Bulldogs. Of course, it's the Alabama Crimson Tide. However, Georgia's right behind them. I mean, Alabama is barely ahead of Georgia, and that's what we're talking about in today's video because it's really important. I've been covering Georgia recruiting and Georgia football for over a decade now. And when I'm on the recruiting trail, that's the one thing I hear most from recruits. I want to go somewhere where I can be developed and play in the NFL. That's what it comes down to. Yes, winning a championship means a lot, and I know Georgia fans are hoping that's the number one factor when a kid makes his college decision, but it's playing in the NFL. That's what these kids want to do. And right now, Georgia is number 2, right behind Alabama as far as producing the most NFL talent. I mean, everyone knows it is an NFL factory in Athens right now. The Philadelphia Eagles can't wait to get their hands on another Georgia Bulldog this time next year, right? As we've seen, the team with the most Georgia players went on to win the Super Bowl last year, right? So everyone knows Kirby Smart is pumping out NFL talent year after year after year. And according to InGame.com, Alabama leads college football with 73 players currently on an NFL roster. And right behind them is Georgia. They've got 71. So who knows, right? Georgia might catch up to Alabama in this very important category. They might even pass the Crimson Tide sooner or later. But right now, Alabama only has 2 more players in the NFL than Georgia does. And that is a major, major recruiting pitch. There's a lot of guys currently committed in their 26 class that are leaving the state they're in to play in Athens because they know they can be developed there and go up to the NFL. So this is a really important category and something that the Georgia coaches absolutely use on the recruiting trail. And it's working. That's a guarantee. It is working. And, you know, if you're going out and getting these crazy talented kids who want to be developed and go to the NFL, if you get enough of them on the same team, that will lead to championships, right? That's what we saw in Athens in 21 and 22. And we might see it again soon, right? I don't think anyone watching this thinks Kirby Smart is done winning championships at the University of Georgia. But in this video, we're breaking it down position by position. Who's quarterback university? Who's running back university? Linebacker, defensive line? What programs are pumping out the most at each specific position, right? So we're going to jump right in. But first, we're going to go down the list of where these programs are, okay? Alabama is number 1. They have 73 current Elephants in the NFL. Georgia's number 2 at 71. Tied with Ohio State. The Buckeyes also are at 71 former players currently on an NFL roster. Right behind them is Michigan. They've got 65 players. Right behind them is LSU. They've got 58. Notre Dame comes in after them. They've got 56. Then Texas at 54. Then Penn State at 51. Oregon at 46. Oklahoma at 46. Oregon at 47. Oklahoma at 46. No Florida on this top 10, right? No Tennessee, no Auburn, no Georgia Tech, okay? Sorry for those folks out there. It ain't happening. There's no NFL factory going on in Knoxville, Gainesville, Auburn, or Atlanta, right? The NFL factory is in Tuscaloosa, Athens, and Columbus, Ohio. As far as the quarterbacks go, Alabama is quarterback university right now. Alabama leads the nation in active NFL quarterbacks with 5 former Crimson Tide passers currently on NFL teams. Oregon has 4. Ohio State, Tennessee, and Florida each have 3. At running back, you all know what it is. It's the University of Georgia Running Back University. They've had that name for a while, and they still have it, okay? That's going to trigger a lot of folks out there, but it's the truth. Georgia leads the pack with 7 NFL running backs, edging out Alabama and Arizona, who have 6. North Carolina and Boise State round out the top 5 with 5 running backs apiece. If you see me looking down, it's because I'm reading the free story that we have over on dawgpost.com. You can read all of these notes and numbers and statistics and more for free over on dawgpost.com. So make sure you are checking that out. The season is right around the corner. We've got some recruiting news coming. More, probably. We'll say probably this weekend. So make sure you are over on the website. There's a lot of stories being pumped out. There's a lot of news. SEC Media Days is next week. You don't want to miss out on any of that content, okay? So the season is fast approaching. Make sure you are over on dawgpost.com to read all the stories because a lot of them, like this one, They're free, okay? They're free to read. There's not a lot of free out there. This is a free story, and a lot on the website right now is free. So make sure you are heading over there. So Alabama University, quarterback university is Alabama. Running back university is Georgia. Defensive ends, Georgia, Michigan, and Ohio State are in a three-way battle. Georgia and Michigan lead with 7 defensive ends each in the NFL, followed by Ohio State, who has 6, Clemson 5, and LSU 5. Again, the Dogs are just pumping them out. Offense, defense, you name it. If you play at Georgia, good chance you're going to go off and play in the NFL. If you do it the right way, practice hard, develop and learn under the staff that knows what they're doing. High school prospects know this. They know this, and that's why Georgia is signing a top 3 and sometimes top-ranked recruiting class year after year after year. Right? It's not a surprise, right? They've got this machine rolling, and the folks in the NFL, they know they can come to Athens and pick up a superstar any type of year. Okay, wide receivers. Georgia's not going to be on this list, okay? You'll know that. Ohio State and Ole Miss are neck and neck. Ohio State and Ole Miss, if I say that properly, are neck and neck. Both schools have produced 10 wide receivers currently active in the NFL. Texas has 9, USC has 8, and Alabama has 7. So Ohio State, probably the team. If you need a wide receiver, you go to Ohio State. LSU does a great job there as well. I don't see them on this list, but if you play wide receiver at LSU, you're a good player, and you could probably play in the NFL. Offensive tackle, Georgia's right there, but it's Ohio State who leads the pack there. Ohio State comes out on top with 8 offensive tackles, followed by Oklahoma, Florida, Notre Dame, and TCU. Oklahoma has 7, Florida has 6, Notre Dame and TCU each have 5. Georgia's got some, right? Andrew Thomas is one of the best. Amarius Mims, Warren McClendon might play guard at for the Rams, but he has played tackle before. Isaiah Wilson was a giant bust. Isaiah Wynn, I guess, is not on in the NFL anymore. I really don't know, but he was a former first-round pick. Broderick Jones, I don't know if I've said him. So Georgia's got some guys. Thought they would be right there in that list. They're not. Linebackers. Georgia's right there, of course. Georgia, Ohio State, and LSU, each school has 10 linebackers in the NFL. Michigan and Auburn each have 9. So Georgia leading the way at running back, defensive end, and at linebacker. Cornerback, Alabama. They're the cornerback king right now. The Crimson Tide dominate here. They've got 9 NFL cornerbacks just ahead of Michigan, USC, and Auburn, who have 8. Georgia's got some, but they're not towards the top there. Tight end. You guessed it, the University of Georgia. Again, dominating a position group right now. The Bulldogs are top of the charts with 7 active tight ends. Notre Dame, Iowa, Washington, and Stanford each have 6, but Georgia leads the way, led by Brock Bowers, who might be the best tight end in the NFL this upcoming season. Dude's a dog, best tight end in college football history, is on his way to a Hall of Fame NFL career if he can stay healthy. The numbers are going to be there. He just had a historic record-breaking season as a rookie. Dude just cannot be stopped. Unfortunately, he's stuck playing with the Raiders, but he is elite already in the NFL. Dude's different. Y'all know this. At center, Michigan takes the snap, right? Did you get that? Michigan leads with 4 NFL centers, while Ohio State, LSU, Georgia, and Notre Dame are tied with 3. Defensive backs, one-off winners is what it says. That was in the email. This highly distributed position sees 5 schools, Kentucky, Ole Miss, Oregon State, Rutgers, and Oregon tied, each producing 1 active NFL defensive back. I think that's wrong. I don't know where that came in. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Let's just pretend I didn't even say that. But yeah, that's what they're using at endgame.com. I was just reading. Probably shouldn't have read that part because I don't understand it. Maybe it was sent to me wrong. But it doesn't really matter. What matters is that the Georgia Bulldogs are proving once and again why they are one of the premier places for NFL coaches and GMs to look at when they are identifying college prospects, looking for superstars, looking for first rounders, right? They obviously look to Tuscaloosa. They're doing it better from a quantity standpoint. Again, they've got 73 former Crimson Tide players in the NFL, but Georgia's right there. They are right behind them, tied with Ohio State with 71. If you need a tight end, you look to Athens. If you need a linebacker, you look in Athens. If you need a running back, you look in Athens. That's just how it is. The coaching staff knows what they're doing, and Kirby Smart is going to love this story that he can read for free over on Dawg Post. He's going to frame this story. It's going to have dawgpost.com. They're going to put it in Buttsmear, and they're going to show all these high school prospects who are coming through like, hey, you want to play in the NFL, you come to Athens, you come play at Georgia, you've got a great chance of heading off to the NFL after 3 or 4 years and making millions and millions of dollars. That's what happens when you play at Georgia. The staff knows it. High school football recruits across the country know it as well. So again, you can read this story for free, except for that last part. I don't know what that was, over on dawgpost.com. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something, and I'll see you over on the website.